Hello boys and girls, I'm going to show you room 6288 in the Boulevard Tower of Cosmopolitan. Now this is a one bedroom, so I was told. We originally booked the Terrace studio. I don't see much difference, frankly, if you look at the pictures, but this supposedly is the one bedroom. To me, it looks very similar in terms of size and layout, with a couple of differences, perhaps. Now, it is rather spacious. The layout is really funky. When you come in, you have rather a pleasant foyer area, but it is dark. And you see the light is on, but it is rather dark. And then you get out of the foyer area. You see, this is it. This is the Boulevard Tower. This is where I am. So this is a regular room. This is not the large corner room. Okay, so this is what I would say. They say a one bedroom, but in my opinion, this is rather a standard studio. They say this is a one bedroom studio that I originally booked a Terrace studio. But nonetheless, the one thing that hits me when I come in here is that it's very dark. Admittedly, the one lamp there does not work. So maybe that's what makes it dark. But these lights up here are on, but it just doesn't, I just don't have the brightness, say, that I had. I just come from Bedr. I don't have the brightness of Bedr. It's rather a long studio rather than narrow, you know what I mean? And so I don't get the feeling of space. It's very dark. It makes me want to just stay all the time on the balcony, and I'll show you that in a minute. Here you've got rather a large TV, which is nice, though the division between the bedroom and the rest of the living area, and I don't think it's as good as what we had at Bedr. I think sound will travel. You see? Lights, fan. You can all have this. The control is all through here. I mean, you can, there are switches, don't worry, there are switches. I don't know what relax means, but it actually got brighter. That's good, I like that. Although this room is still rather dark for me. Well, it's funny because the living room, this from Bedr that we came from, had a pull-out sofa. This one clearly does not. So bear that in mind. You might want to ask when you book if there are more than two people, if there's a pull-out sofa or something like that, because they have several types of different rooms or studios. I already hear the noise from the corridor, so I don't think it's a noise insulated to the level that Bedr was. I'm comparing it to Bedr because Bedr is just across, really, really next door. And we had a good stay there. For what I thought, the price wasn't very high at all. Well, first of all, we were comped, but we paid for an upgrade and it was very reasonable. The upgrade here was a lot more expensive and I wasn't particularly impressed. So this is what I settled with. Now, let me tell you, first of all, a pleasant surprise, I suppose, it's the wardrobe. First of all, it's nicely lit. That's a nice change. 2 luggage racks, that's nice. Decent hangers, as opposed to, you know, the regular one. 2 robes, which is nice. And then I'll show you I'll show you the safe, which is actually a decent size, although it's not upright. It's a decent size, but it's not upright. So you're going to have to put your things on top of each other. I don't particularly like that, but it's a decent size. You got your ironing board here, and your iron, and so forth. So the room is funky, right? It's funky. It's so Cosmopolitan theme, of course. And then you have the entrance to the bathroom. And it's through sliding doors, just to, you know, make sure that you use as much space as possible, utilize as much space as possible. Personally, I'm not a fan of sliding doors. To me, when I see a sliding door, it just shows that cutting corners with space, obviously. And I'm not a fan because I don't think they close very well, but I did find one at Bedr and the rest was regular doors. Now, the bathroom, it's rather small, but then again, we just came from a huge bathroom at Bedr and I may not be very objective. So let me explain. This is nice because it's got his and hers. See? Nicely lit, vanity mirror. So it's not small, it's just odd when you come in, but I guess it makes sense, actually. And then here, this is the fun part odd part, I should say. The shower, which is a walk-in, you got to go through the shower, which if somebody has taken a shower and you want to go through the tub, of course it's going to be wet. But I guess it makes sense too. With a decent shower head, we need to see if it actually works fine. And I'll tell you at the end of this video after I've stayed here for one night. And then you have the most curious tub. It's nice because you get to see the view as you soak up, but it's not a jacuzzi tub. And I really, really expect jacuzzi tubs when I see tubs of this size. It's very deep, so it takes a lot of water. So you might as well make it into a jacuzzi. And then the tub actually overlooks the bedroom as well. It's open. I don't like that. And it has a view which is nice, though not the kind of feel that I got when I was at Bedr. It's a little bit more smaller. But it's still very nice, of course. And then, of course, the toilet is here. I'll show you. A separate room. And, you know, it's rather a large room, actually. Usually they're a bit smaller. And what I like about it is actually that it's got a fan. These things are rarities these days. See? Rarity. Okay, so a very narrow bathroom. I mean, it's nice, but it's narrow, and I'm not a fan of having it practically open to the bedroom. I don't like to smell chlorine when I'm sleeping. I don't know, again, and it's my own thing, but you may not care, so I'll just tell you. Nice lighting. I really like the light. It's quite ironic. You have many more lights from the bedroom. I really particularly like these bedroom lights. You know, look at how funky they are. And of course you got lights up there. And of course you got the view, whatever, you know, I mean, this is not a Bellagio view, but it is a strip view, though South Strip. Another TV set, although smaller. And plenty of sockets or plugs. And here we go with the controls to the bathtub. And you have this pretty basic way to close up, to have some privacy. So anyway, you have that. And then the pied de résistance, the stronghold, I presume. Oh, by the way, yes, there are sliding doors to and from the bathroom. I don't find this living room at all workable because it's too dark. When I'm in a living room, I like to have light. So I may actually have to do something about that lamp, have it fixed. But even so, it's dark, and I do not like it. To me, for the price, you get a much nicer room of Bedr. They are incredibly bright. Even the studio is probably the same size, it's laid out differently, much, much brighter, huge window. And then, of course, if you go into the Bedr suite, which is the one bedroom at Bedr, I much, much preferred it. So personally, I don't find this particularly impressive. I think it's funky, but it's not practical. So that's that. And now funky phones, let's see. Yeah, you know, regular phones. You have the same at home, really, so to speak. Well, this is it. I mean, having said that, I mean, if I had just come from an off-street motel, obviously I would be more impressed. But having come from Bedr and having come from a one-bedroom at Bedr, and as I said, this was sold to me as a one-bedroom, then I would say 100% the one-bedroom at Bedr, the Bedr suite, is way, way better under all aspects, including the view. The only thing that it's, I suppose, a nice thing, and it really is, in that you can sunbathe and you don't have to share, you know, you don't have to go to the pool area. See, this, they have a rooftop, sorry, a terrace. Why am I saying rooftop? Okay. And of course, since it reads non-smoking inside, presumably you can smoke outside. It's very bright. This is very nice. I mean, you can sunbathe here, which is a very nice touch. You get to see some, I mean, for those of you who like it, I like it. And I can imagine the one overlooking Bellagio, and I showed you the view from another video, is spectacular. But here you get the sun most of the day, so bear that in mind. If you want to sunbathe in your own private area, then I think the one facing south, you have to book facing south if you want to sunbathe on the terrace, on the balcony. So bear that in mind. And then you've got another cute little, listen to the noise, and we are on the 66th floor. So it's nice, it's a nice touch. I particularly like that. As I say, I think I will enjoy sitting here for 10 minutes and sunbathe. And you see MGM Grand. I suppose it'll be really nice in It'd be really nice at night. And then you've got Hilton Grand Vacations, Polo Towers. You see Tropicana. Look at how much higher we are. Look at it. Look at how low MGM Grand was. And then Haria is there, and Vdara is just behind this other tower here. And we were really on a high floor of Vdara as well. And you get to see Monte Carlo. Well, that soon is not going to be Monte Carlo anymore. Delano, Excalibur. Look at how much higher we are. It's quite a feast. It's quite nice. So this aspect of the room is really lovely. I get to see the mountains. I get to see a bit of the airport. Why not? I like the mountains. Don't overestimate the mountains. It's a beautiful view. But as I say, once you go in, let's see if I can do it this way. I gotta close. It's so hot. It's incredible. I can only imagine how hot it is in the summer. Well, I know I've been here, but it's just because this one faces south. So in winter, you may want to have something facing south. In the summer, you may not want that. But again, you know, it depends on what they give you. Nice artwork. It's really lovely. I haven't checked the Wi-Fi and I haven't checked the TV stations. I will do so after I have had one night's sleep here. I will add a segment at the end of this. So I love it. It's lovely. Okay, it's lovely. It's very clean. It's supposedly a remodeled one, newly remodeled. I can smell it, actually. I don't like, really nice artwork. I don't like that I could hear the sounds from the corridor. That was a bit odd for me. Not much soundproofing there. The corridor is really tiny. So people, I don't know what the reason is. And, but what I said, I don't like the darkness of this area. I think it could use more light, and ideally it could use natural light, but obviously you'd have to do it completely differently. If you have a corner one, it's going to be much better. But everything costs more. And here, I actually paid. I didn't get comped because I hardly ever stay at Cosmopolitan, practically never. I think this is my second stay at Cosmopolitan, and that's it. And I'll tell you all about it. I'll do a walkthrough. I'll do everything that I think might be of interest to you before booking. So it's a lovely place. It's ideal if you don't care about staying indoors too much because, as I say, the darkness of the room hits you, I think. It certainly hits me. And it makes you want to go to the bedroom or the balcony. But it's hot. So, I mean, it is today. So there you go. I mean, it's lovely, as I say. Coming from Vdara, you know what I just said. You know, and you can see my other videos, and you can make up your own mind. Obviously, depends on how much you pay. I'm not paying too much. I'm not paying resort fee. So I think it's about $100 a night plus tax, of course, I think. Because then there are always surprises when you check out. But it was a deal. It was a deal that I found, you know, and I talk about how to, where to go to find the best deals online, and I say that on top-buffet.com. Okay, well, I hope this has been of use. Do not hesitate to ask me questions on top-buffet.com. There's a comment section there. And unless I'm traveling, I will reply pretty quickly. If I'm traveling, then I'm afraid you have to wait until I'm back home. And by traveling, I mean here in Vegas. And sometimes I stay here a month, you know. Okay, so I'm going to do a walkthrough of the resort in a different video. I'm going to show you other parts of the resort in a different video. And I will write updates on top-buffet.com. And I am going to update this video at the end with a segment as I promised, okay? So see you soon. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so now that it works, I just wanted to show that actually now it's a bit brighter, so I don't get that feeling that I got when I walked in the first time, that it was a little bit too dark. So it was nice and bright, although, as I said earlier, you still have not natural light. So if you're a natural light fanatic, this may not be for you. You may want to pay extra for the corner, or you may want to check in somewhere else, as I mentioned earlier. So all in all, you know, I've gone through all of it again, and yes, it is a lovely place. It's funky. I'm not sure about this, but it's good to wear, you know, to measure your shoes like you do in a shoe store. But yes, I mean, it's lovely, it's funky, it really does depend on what you prioritize. And for that, I really invite you to see the other review of the nearby Vdara, and then you make your comparisons. You compare it and decide for yourself. The balcony is a really lovely plus, and of course, being so high up, it's really extra fun. Anyway, this I really don't like, as I said. I really don't like it, but you might. So, you know, that might be a subjective thing. Anyway, I will now add a segment on the TV channels and the Wi-Fi and the sleep comfortability. So don't go anywhere. So actually, looking at this interactive pad, it's actually quite easy to operate, and I quite like it. Coming in and having all the controls at once just as I walk in. And you've got it obviously by your bed as well. It's nothing really different from what, say, Aria has, but it's slightly different. It's slightly different. There are small differences, and check out my other video, then you understand what I mean. Okay, so don't go away because I have a segment on the other features that I mentioned, so just wait. Now I wanted to show you the view in the evening, which is rather nice, really. My traveling companion was telling me that I was a little harsh about this suite, and possibly I was in absolute terms, you know, but I mean, I can just say, look, it's beautiful, end of story, right? But I'm also trying to give you comparisons for the same price in the same area of the strip, and so in terms of practicality, in terms of sleep, and all sorts of other services. So hopefully by the end of my stay, and as I say, I will actually review the amenities as well, then you can make hopefully an informed decision as to which resort, if you want to stay in this particular area, which resort is best for you within perhaps this price range. And I must say, this view is pretty nice. It's very noisy, but it's pretty nice. It is nice. I think that in the summer you won't be able to enjoy it at all, so it's something that you might overlook in the summer, but in winter I think it'll be very pleasant. I'm sitting down, I'm too tired. I can see how you can sit here, maybe have a drink, not that you have anything here except for the mini bar, but you know, relax and just have a little chat. It's not the best air quality when you're actually outside, believe it or not, but I think it's going to be really nice at night, and I'm going to show it to you at night. And believe me, you have a much better view looking towards the north of the strip, because you actually get to see the fountains if you actually get the tower that faces the Bellagio fountains. And I was told that in this particular time of the year is going to be very expensive, okay? So in terms of upgrade, I don't think you can just get an upgrade with just $30 more a night, nothing like that. Otherwise we would have taken it. Now that's it, but I will add something else on, so don't go away. I want you, by the end of all my reviews with regards to Cosmopolitan, I really want you to have a perfect idea of what you may find and if it's something that you actually really want. Okay, I just wanted to add something, and I'm doing it from my room, that the buffet, so this is the price, can you see it? So it's all in all, including taxes, it's $48.71, and the nice server's name was Kyle. So he was very nice. I have to tell you, I smell smoke. I guess people come here and they smoke onto the balcony. You can tell smoke stains and everything. But that's another review altogether. That's the room review and the resort review. So that's going to be a totally different review. I just wanted to leave you with the price, if I actually manage to get this machine to focus. But nonetheless, it's $45 plus $3.71 in tax, for a total of $48.71 for brunch at Cosmopolitan Wicked Spoon Buffet. And as I said, it really wasn't worth it, but I really want to know what you think, okay? See you on top-buffet.com. Okay, ready for this? Oh my God. So I removed one luggage rack as I was about to put my luggage on one of them. So I removed one and I saw these socks. And let me tell you, ladies and gentlemen, these socks are not mine and they are terrible, actually. And the place is filthy. Can you see it? So this has not been cleaned. Oh my God. And somebody's socks are here. So they didn't even hoover or vacuum this section, which is quite bad. And you know, I don't even want to touch those socks, you know, they probably smell. So, you know, once I checked in Monte Carlo and I found a whole 1/4 cake under the table, and now I'm finding socks. I don't know which one is best, but you know what? You don't expect that from Cosmopolitan. You know, they're not even that busy. Okay, guys, well, there you go. There's a little addendum. There'll be more coming. So one thing I've noticed is that there are no writing pads. This may be a very little thing for most of you, but, you know, if you want to write a little note, I don't find them anywhere here. And the other thing that I've noticed is, and I'm trying to go and not show you the mess, so I'm trying to have an angle here. The one thing I've noticed also is that this particular thermostat in the bedroom doesn't seem to work. I've set it to 19 and it's currently 24. I don't know if you can see it. No, you can't see it. But there's just nothing coming. I mean, the fan is on high. It's actually very warm in here. I can only imagine what it's like in the summer. Of course, you know, maybe after the fan in the living room has had a chance to really cool down the whole area, then maybe it will affect the bedroom as well. But frankly, so far it's a little warm in here, but I'll let you know, because maybe, you know, it needs some time. I've just changed the temperatures in the living room, which is a little cooler than the bedroom, but I'll let you know, so stay tuned, stay tuned. In terms of cleanliness, you know, I don't know if you can see it, but all the corners are dirty, and by that I mean they haven't been vacuumed at all. I don't know if you can see it. It reminds me of, you know, the really cheap resorts or hotels where, you know, they really rush. So it looks like only the main areas has been vacuumed. Then, you know, I showed you, yeah, really not the best cleanliness if you consider the price, right? So there's bits and pieces everywhere. There are bits and pieces, and then also the balcony was a little dirty, actually. I don't know if you noticed. I'll show you. So just wanted to show you. See, this is like, obviously there are bits of food I haven't eaten here, and there's clearly there are bits of cigarette ash that haven't been, basically it hasn't been cleaned. The floor hasn't been cleaned, so that's kind of gross, really. But yeah, it just wasn't cleaned. Which is a shame, because I really like to walk barefoot, but I wouldn't want to do that here. Okay, but I'll leave you with a nice view regardless, and stay tuned, because there's lots more that I'll have to say as I keep spending time here, especially sleep quality, Wi-Fi and TV. Okay, so this is my first update. They don't provide kettles or tea makers or anything like that, despite what I was told at front desk. And again, you know, for the same price, you can have a Bedr suite, and I have actually reviewed it, so take a look at it. It's mind-blowing. It's breathtaking. You can have a suite of Bedr with a real kitchenette, and actually the Bedr suite has a real kitchen with a full-size fridge and, you know, all the facilities, pots, cutlery, and plates that you can think of, and at no extra charge, They told me that I could have, because they didn't provide kettles, they told me that I could have some hot water for $10.50 just to have it brought up here. So I know that for some of you it will sound like I'm penny pinching, but you know, I'm here reviewing things, and I can just say, oh look, it's a lovely room. There you go. But that's just not a review. It's a lovely room. I don't think it's practical. You can't stretch your legs to watch TV, and I showed it to you now. It's a little bit messy, so I don't want to show you right now. But this couch is really uncomfortable. I mean, it's like, I don't really understand the purpose of a couch in this particular shape. You really want to stretch your legs, you know, and there's nothing to do that. And these ones, you can't even move them around. So that's a little bit of a pain. The TV, as you saw in my review previously, it's quite far away, although it's a big TV. So, you know, really, I really want you to, you know, I care about your money, okay? So unless you really, really want to burn your money and you don't care about anything, you might want to double think a few things. Now, on the plus side, as I said, they do have a 24-hour gym, and I'm going to show you that in a different video. And that's really, really nice. For some, it's actually a tipping point, and it actually is for me too. But in terms of comfortability and the beauty of the suite and practicality, pound for pound, or rather dollar for dollar, I would go for the Bedr suite any time of the day, really. But anyway, I'll tell you more about this room, this suite, as I'm using the facilities more and more, so that I can give you a much, much more detailed review. And I think this suite is going to get messier and messier, so by the end of this review, I might just show you this. Okay, just stay tuned, don't go anywhere. So another addendum, I'm looking around this room, you know, which at first looks really lovely, but there are no drawers, there are no cabinets. You know, it gives you a sense of space because there's nothing here except for a bed. So forgive the mess, it's really messy, like a bomb exploded. I'm not here by myself, and my travel companions are messy. And here, as you know, you have showed you, did I show you? I'll show you again. You have the mini bar fridge here, and you have the tiny fridge that it's actually for you to use. It's empty, very small. And then you have these, which are not drawers, just a couple of compartments, you know. Nothing, no drawers, nothing. It's actually a really impractical suite. It's really not practical at all. And you know, these is no real furniture, no drawer. It's nothing. It just looks funky, really does, but it really isn't practical. Hi guys, so this is the view and the noise from the terrace at Cosmopolitan. Obviously it's at night. And can you hear how noisy it is? It's not an issue at all. I mean, it's like, for those who want to party, it's fine. I actually do love the lights. The problem that I have is that when you actually close the doors, the glass sliding doors, it doesn't really make that much difference. It really doesn't. I cannot believe how not soundproofed this room or studio is. It's really bad, actually, considering that we're so high up. 62nd floor. I mean, you can see how high we are. Like, really, look at MGM Grand right there. Look at how much smaller that is. Polo Towers, you know, really. The only thing comparable is the Hilton Grand Vacations Tower over there. But even Delano, see, look at that, Delano. Obviously Mandarin Oriental stall, but really, let's face it, we're really high up. What I want to do now is to actually have you listen to the noise from this very, very, very high floor suite. It's just so not soundproofed, and I'm shocked because I have stayed, obviously I was spoiled, I stayed at Bedr. That was super quiet, but usually you're not supposed to hear this. The only other place that I heard a similar noise was at Flamingo, but it was nowhere near this high up, and it was practically above a bar that was playing music until very late at night. I was told by by everyone, how's that you have to be careful here because many of the rooms or studios are very noisy because they have the ice skating ring, and then they have the nightclub, and then have this and the other, and music is played quite a bit. So I'm trying to show you what I'm talking about, so bear with me. Can you see the ice skating ring? I am risking my life to show you this because it's really quite scary. And then you see one of the pools. Let me see. Okay, ice skating ring, that's it. You should be able to see it now. That's where the noise comes from in my... Actually, I don't know. It comes from there, it could come from there. You know, like across the strip. It's a very noisy area too. So I can't quite determine where the noise is coming from, but it's really loud. And the problem is that when you're inside, you can just hear it almost as badly. So I thought you should know that. Some of you, many of you will not care, some of you will care. Now, I mean, you should see the position that I'm in to show you this. So this is the best I can do for you without screaming out of fear. So I'll leave you with that shot, and then I'm gonna try and show you what it's like from the inside. Now, can you hear this? So I think I gave you an idea. Of course, the view is beautiful. It's nice to see this from your bed. And it also means that, you know, the bed is pretty close to this. I mean, the bedroom area, as I showed you earlier, it's quite small. So you're obviously going to be able to have the view accessible. What I think is just that there's no real soundproofing. These glass sliding doors just don't provide the soundproofing that, in my opinion, they should. Well, it's not exactly really relaxing, is it? So I want you to bear that in mind. I did not have that problem at all at Bedr. Of course, it was super peaceful. But in other resorts too, you just look at the fun, but you don't hear the fun, and that's what I personally like, especially when I'm paying good money for a suite or a room. Hello, I wanted to give you a little update on my sleep last night and the night before here. I have to tell you, this room has really grown on me, this suite, one bedroom suite. I enjoyed the fact that it was long and narrow because I couldn't hear any door slamming by the time, you know, I was in my bed, because the door slamming took place, not much of it actually, but it took place near the living room area, so that's fine. As I said, the living room wasn't as great in the day because it was dark, but really it allowed the bedroom to be quieter. Although, as I said, late at night, I mean, you had that noise from the ice skating rink, but it finishes at 1 a.m. and last night I came to bed so late that by the time I did, there was no noise whatsoever, and I like that. Sorry. It's really warm here. Vegas is so warm. I'm practically wearing nothing and I'm just loving. In the sun you really are very warm. So back to the room. The Wi-Fi was great. No device limitation. I mean, that's a special by Caesars Entertainment, which is really annoying. And what else? The TV station, the TVs were both great. The sound of the big TV in the living room was excellent sound. I don't know what happens if people have the TV loud late at night. I don't know if you could hear it because it was really huge sounds, but lovely, really. And then I think you didn't hear anything from the other rooms except for the door closing. So I think soundproofing is okay between room to room. And then the channels, number of channels, it was good enough, you know, all the news stations, a couple of sports channels, a couple of other, you know, regular channels, you know, but nothing outstanding. I was expecting a bit more from this higher end resort, but I think it's roughly the same as I got at Bedr, actually, roughly the same. The only place where I had, I'm sorry, I just woke up, where I had more channels was Encore or Win. That was huge amounts of channels. I don't remember Bellagio, you know, I stayed at Bellagio, I don't remember, but I write this on top-buffet.com. And so, as I say, Wi-Fi was great. I've had really good Wi-Fi everywhere, including Caesars Palace. The only problem with Caesars Palace, and I think the whole Caesars Entertainment group, at least the ones I've been at, is that they have a device limitations. I'll tell you all about it on top-buffet.com. But here at Cosmo, absolutely good Wi-Fi, absolutely good TV sounds. Fabulous sleep on the mattress. The mattress was brand new. This was a brand new remodel suite, and you could tell the mattress was fabulous. I only regret that I didn't sleep on it longer. They're a bit strict on late checkout. I think they said it's because we are approaching New Year's Eve, and so they have a lot of people. So I have to hurry up. But yeah, I mean, the sleep was great. The mattress was great. Really, the only places where I've actually had a really good mattress were here at Cosmopolitan. As I said, they said it's a newly remodeled suite, so maybe that's the reason. And a Bedr, the Bedr suite, not the first suite, the Bedr suite. So, but I really like my really high-end pillow top mattresses, or, you know, memory foam mattresses, high-end. Oh yes, Mirage, the Staywell suite had a nice mattress. Bit hard, memory foam mattress, but it was good. So this is it, guys. I mean, I've really, this suite has really grown on me. The resort was a zoo because, you know, massive amounts of people during this holiday. So it was a bit of a pain actually walking around, but I love the 24-hour gym. I'll show it to you in a different video. So I think it really grows on me. I mean, will you be able to get this kind of view or better? I don't know. I was lucky. I didn't pay extra for it. But, you know, there are lots of other rooms. Many of them are on the lower floors. And frankly, I just could not imagine being anywhere near that ice rink. But, you know, wear earplugs and you'll be fine. Okay, so just a little final quick look around. Lovely, really grew on me. I really enjoyed it, actually. I think if you are alone or if you are with a partner, then that you don't mind sharing, you know, your bed with, because it doesn't have two beds. You really enjoy it. I can imagine, you know, originally I had planned to stay here by myself, and I think I would have, it would have been a good choice. Nonetheless, I have more to tell you about the resort itself, and I'm going to do a walkthrough of the resort, and I'm going to show you also the pools. They're different on in different towers, which is great, that you don't have to change towers. So I'm going to show you the one in this tower. Oh yes, just one thing I forgot. There was a pervasive smell of cigarette smoke along the corridor outside our room or suite. Really pervasive, and pretty much everywhere really, apart from the room or suite itself. I don't know if they don't care if people smoke in their suites. I mean, obviously the patios or the terraces are, obviously the patios or the terraces are smoking. See, why do I know that? Because there are signs that ashtrays to start with. But I don't really think they have, I don't know, I had the impression that people were smoking in the suites, which is kind of gross, really. Because the corridors were all smelling of cigarette smoke. But the good thing is that once you came inside, I actually didn't smell anything. So maybe it was just, I don't know what it was. It wasn't terrible, the smoke, it was just a little bit. And also along all the elevators. But, you know, it was a very, it's a really thick crowd. Maybe generally speaking, you have better behaved people, you know, so. But, yeah, it was a little bit peculiar, but considering that it's been quite much better with regards to smoke, maybe people are finally catching up with the idea that this stuff is really not good for you. And I forgot to tell you that the air conditioning is actually working fine, both in the living room and in the bedroom, and that the glass tainted sliding doors, although did not seem to be very soundproofing, they actually are very good at preventing the heat from coming inside. You know, because obviously south facing means that you're going to have a lot of sun shining onto them, but very good at preventing the heat coming in, from coming in. So I wouldn't hesitate to book this type of south facing room in the summer. Though, I mean, obviously I don't know how effective it is in the summer, but okay, so that is, I think, the final update. See you on top-buffet.com.